Welcome, my beautiful people, to another Donny and Lee Reacts. I'm going to bring on Lee, who's going to be chatting away with us. Give us a round of applause and a cheer for Lee.
Are you?
Was you expecting that kind of reception there?
To be honest, it made me feel a little bit cringy inside. I'd rather have that. I'm prejudging you already.
This is the guy I recognise.
Okay, all right, it's creepy. It's officially creepy.
Yeah, it's true. It's real.
I'm sorry. I'm just jealous. He has more hair than me.
Drachenfels on TikTok, and he works delivering products to companies, and in one of these deliveries he had a very bizarre encounter with what he is saying is a shapeshifter. This is really creepy. Check this out.
Okay.
So today I experienced something that I've never experienced in my life before. Freaked me out. Thought I was crazy. Still haven't processed it fully. So, as I do every week, twice a week, I make deliveries to the same guy. I've been doing it for 7 months. And it's the same guy every time I walk in. He's got a big garage.
This sounds like it's gonna be a really good one.
Just like a couple.
Like the others.
He ruined it.
Yeah,
He ruined it.
I was enjoying that story then.
I was literally the first thing that come into my head when I started listening to him is the way he's reacting. Whatever it is, I believe he believes it.
Yes,
this
yes,
guy
same,
experienced something that generally is probably confused him, freaked him out, hard to process. Like you said, I'm still processing it. All of that come across completely genuine to me.
Yeah,
this guy, I feel that this guy, I believe this guy believes whatever this is going to be.
Like, same. Don't trust his face there, though, like that. But otherwise, yeah.
Always freeze frame.
For a minute, I walk away. I go on my business. Today, I walked in, and he had his back to me, and he was working on his bench, and he must have heard me coming. I don't know, because I was actually pretty quiet, I thought. But when he turned around, I jumped and kind of grabbed my mouth like that because I didn't know what to think. And he laughed a little bit and he called me jumpy. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm just not feeling very good. And I handed him his part and I was like, hey, I gotta go. The reason I reacted that way,
goosebumps already.
Oh my gosh. What is he gonna say?
Is because when I looked at him, he was different.
Wait, I'm gonna hide myself here.
He's dead.
I'm already scared.
Right, I've got a feeling the guy's passed and he didn't know. Like, he just
Mate, I've got goosebumps just from that already.
Well, this is what I mean. Like, whatever it is, this guy genuinely had an experience.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
He didn't look like the same guy I saw every other time. First thing I saw was he had no color in his eyes.
What?
They were completely black. Like,
okay.
Like you couldn't even see reflections. It was just a black mass.
I mean, that can happen.
And for some reason, his ears were kind of weird, and they had like this little point like that.
Ah, you gotta be joking.
Right. Okay. All right.
I don't know what that was. Excuse me. But then I was talking to my friend, and he sent me an article about them saying that a new disorder that's coming out where people are starting to see demon faces.
Yeah, I saw that, and I immediately felt
new
it was
disorder.
Weird that they're saying that.
I've heard this disorder.
It's not a new disorder. I was going to say this guy feels. I'm not a fucking doctor.
It's called PMO.
Like that.
Prosopagnosia, or PMO.
Right.
It's when you believe you see faces distorted or demonic looking. But this,
That happens a lot with people who don't sleep properly.
when they say new disorder, what they're saying by that is in the last 6 months, to
Oh,
a
it's
year,
resurfaced.
it's being diagnosed like exponentially, just shot up.
Yeah.
And
it's
everyone's been hit.
resurfaced.
Everyone's
Yeah.
it's almost like they've been taught in a new lecture or something.
The
So
thing
everyone's
is,
been,
like, you
everyone's
look
been
at
diagnosed with it.
history. You look at history. It's a very common thing, right? In history, and people palm it off. Oh no, but people were extra religious back then. It could be superstition and people just being afraid because they don't understand. It's like, or it could be sorry for using this. I don't know any other way of wording it. If there is a better way of wording it, but mental illnesses and different neurological, neurodiversity back then wasn't understood. People who had epileptic fits were considered to be witches doing spells, like convulsing, really, like, oh, they're demons, they've been possessed. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, but like seeing stuff and that, like, it's more common than what people might think, like throughout history. But like, what is it, like, what causes that, like, and especially if you're not been diagnosed with anything before and everything's been, there's nothing in your family that's known, and that, that's quite interesting, to have like almost, not to put on the same degree as mass hysteria, but a lot of people being in the same thing, having the same experience. Very interesting. But I'll still say, like, regardless, like, whether I believe demons or not, like, I have my own views on that sort of stuff, right? As sarcastic as it might sound at the moment, but I still stand by that this guy genuinely had an experience.
Yeah, let's see what he says. Carries on with. Go back a bit.
This is not good. What's gonna happen?
He didn't look like the same guy I saw every other time.
See, I feel that.
First
That
thing
feels
I saw,
real.
You've had that experience though yourself, right?
Maybe that's why
That's
I've got
what I mean.
goosebumps.
So have I.
Completely
That's
black.
why I have as well.
Like
And it
black.
was a really
Couldn't
bad
even
moment.
see
They turned out to be not
reflections with
the
the
right
black mask.
person.
No.
And for
But,
some reason,
you know,
his ears were
it's-
kind
that's-
of
that's what I
weird, and they
mean.
had,
It's a
like, this
human
little point like
experience.
that.
You gotta be joking, man.
I don't know what that was. Excuse me. But then I was talking to my friend, and he sent me an article about them saying that a new disorder that's coming out where people are starting to see demon faces.
Yeah, I saw that and I immediately thought it was weird that they're saying this is a new disorder. What do you mean a new disorder? What is going on? Why? What happened? What changed? What glitch in the Matrix is this? What Mandela effect is this? That this new disorder now exists and it didn't before? Is
Two
it
completely different
television?
things.
Is it
Like,
video games? Is it the food we're eating? Or is it something else entirely, right? So, huh.
man,
I still can't process it. I can't. I don't know. And like ever since the eclipse, I find it funny. The clouds look different.
Yeah. Well, he goes on. He seems legit freaked out about it. So, there's a part 2 and a part 3,
Okay.
which makes this even more interesting. Check this out.
I have a massive.
Okay, so there's a part 2.
this is a different video.
Yeah. This is an update. He said.
Different day. His hair's grown.
Yeah, he said it's an update.
Yeah. But I'm saying it's not the next day.
No, I think he says.
Makes this even more interesting. Check this out.
I have a massive update about the guy I saw with black eyes. I've been tossing this up in the air for a little bit whether I should post the video or not. And I decided to just because I promised a few people that I would keep them updated on what happened. I'm a little confused, I'm not gonna lie. I went into work this morning. My boss told me because Monday is a holiday, he's like, why don't you go ahead and do your Monday route today? That way we don't have to worry about it. Awesome. So I get in my van. I'm making deliveries. I had to stop at that guy's company. I didn't see him in the window. I dropped the part like normal. I got like maybe a mile down the road. I just pulled over because everything in my stomach, in my gut, my heart was like, you know what? Maybe you should have done this before, but let's Google his name.
Whoa.
And I Googled his name. I have more questions now than I did before.
Oh my gosh.
Because the first thing that popped up was his face. And underneath it, it said obituary.
What?
That he died in October
Yeah,
of 23.
told ya.
Oh my
I saw
gosh.
that coming a fucking mile away,
Was
bro.
I hearing part
Told
two
you
of
right at
Ghost?
the beginning. He's
Oh my
dead.
Gosh.
The guy's not dead. Somebody is done identity theft.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
100% sure that I am of right frame of mind.
Yeah, dude,
I
you
know
just
I
freaked
was thinking
out
that
because
guy
a lot
parts.
of weird
So that
coincidences.
tells me that I handed my parts to.
The reason I don't believe the identity theft thing that is the fact the first part was he had black eyes and pointy ears and he was different to how
Yeah.
he'd ever seen him before. So that
Right,
wouldn't fit.
but
That would,
he had seen him plenty of times before, not like that.
so it's not identity theft, is it? Because why would it still be?
No. He's seen a person, right? He Googles the name, right? The name comes up dead, right? Now, so many people with the same name, dead, right? But even if it was the same person, it is so well known with identity theft and stuff for people just continuously using a name where
Yeah, but
somebody passed.
he said it. The person's picture was there, so it's the same person that he'd
Oh,
been speaking to.
I don't think he said that. I didn't hear that. But if he did,
Yeah, he did.
And underneath it, it said obituary.
Sure, he did.
he said he.
Part like normal.
Yeah.
I got like
Like,
maybe a mile down the road. I just pulled over because everything in my stomach, in my gut, my heart was like, you know what? Maybe you should have done this before, but let's Google his name.
Whoa.
And I Googled his name. I have more questions now than I did before.
Oh my gosh.
Because the first thing that popped up was his face.
Yeah, his face.
And underneath it, it
Right.
said obituary.
Right.
What?
Okay.
He died in October of 23.
Oh.
Right.
now, if all right, again, I can see why the guy's probably freaked out if he's seen something like that. Now,
Well, the guy's been dead the
Again,
entire time.
right.
He's been for 7 months. He's been delivering to him twice a week.
yeah,
Same
And-
face as the newspaper, but that one day before was when he saw the black eyes and pointy ears, and the weird "you're jumpy" feeding. He said to him.
yeah, but he was already dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who's delivering stuff to a dead person? Who's ordering stuff
Well, he's
for a
delivering
dead
it.
person?
He's delivering it to the company, and that guy was receiving the parcels. So that guy owned the company who died.
So okay, so all right, so he's the only person who's experienced this person then.
You don't know. I don't know.
Like that really if that was the case, right? If it turned out like that, and he's of sound mind, and there's nothing in the family or history that would indicate, oh, you know, something going on upstairs in his head,
Mm.
like mental illness, what have you. That I mean, that would certainly rattle me. I'm not gonna lie. But like, there's so much that again, the person's face, obituary. If you hadn't seen that already, right? Then, yeah, very weird. If anything, this is the only one so far that actually fits the fucking title. Pardon
Yeah,
my
yeah,
friend.
Oh my
definitely.
gosh.
You know what I mean?
Was I hearing parts to a ghost?
Oh my gosh. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
100% sure that I am of right frame of mind. I know I was handing that guy parts. So that tells me that I handed my parts to somebody that died in October.
Oh my gosh. Why?
How is that possible?
Why were his eyes black, and why did he have pointy ears? I mean, like, this is super creepy.
The next
Because
time I see that
something is
company,
not
I'm gonna
right.
walk in and
Yeah.
ask
Doesn't
them
matter whether the
about him.
person's
You should.
there or
I think
not.
he does.
Yeah.
You know, as in physically
that-
there, or you're perceiving them. The thing is, when a person is ill and they're going through an episode of a delusion, they're in it. What they see is real. They truly believe because they see it.
Mm.
It's there. It's happening. They feed it. It's happening. You know, but you could tell them in a moment, no, it's not. They don't believe you. They'll just look at you like, how can you tell me that? Stop, like basically stop gaslighting me. That is, look, they're right there.
Mm.
You know, so it is so hard to distinguish between those two things, even if you are professionally trained and know what the fuck you're looking for and talking about. Again, just listening to the guy, right? Like I said, whatever the story was, I genuinely believe that this guy had an experience, right, that freaked him out. He's questioning stuff because of it.
Mm-hmm.
We've all had stuff like that, you know, logical thinking through it or not. There are stuff that rattle people, and this would certainly rattle me if I hadn't experienced the way that he's worded it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you can tell he's full about it
Yeah.
because he's taking his time with words and stuff. Even if he was acting, this is goddamn class A acting. Like,
yeah, it's too real. It's not like over dramatic, is it? So,
right. This is what I'm talking about being human about something. You know, you can feel it.
7 months, he was handing 2 parcels a week, car parts to a company, and the man was receiving them, taking the parcels. And then one day he sees him, and he has black eyes and pointy ears, makes him jump, and he feels weird. He searches his name, finds out he died at October 23, so he'd been giving him parcels for them that amount of time.
So it's in the same. So he's from the same place, right?
Yeah.
How small is this community? Would he have read this and glanced over it and not realized, you know, and registered? Do you know what I mean? There's so much that, but still, it doesn't matter how, whether it explained or not, you know.
Still doesn't that part doesn't change what you saw.
It's unnerving. It's unnerving. His experience of something like that, it's clearly unsettled him, and you know, I can certainly feel that. I empathize that. You know,
I believe him.
I handed my parts to somebody that died in October.
Oh my gosh. Why?
How is that possible?
Why were his eyes black, and why did he have pointy ears? I mean, like, this is super creepy.
The next time I see that company, I'm going to walk in and ask them about him.
You should, and I think he does.
Hey, so I got an update on the guy I saw with the black eyes and the pointy ears. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look at my profile. It's all pinned. Be able to catch up that way. So today I made a delivery to that company, and luckily for me, there was a mechanic standing out front. I walked over and I asked him a couple questions about the old man that used to work there, and he said, yeah, the owner passed away in October. He died of brain cancer, and that the guy's daughter was now running the company. And, you know, I was going to ask a few more questions, but then the daughter came outside.
Whoa.
And the mechanic was like, oh, this guy over here is asking questions about your dad. I was just filling him in a little bit. And she looked at me and she was like, yeah, do you have any questions you want to ask? And then I said no. And I said, the only thing that I want to say is, I'm sorry this is a late response. And I was like, but I just wanted to say I'm sorry for your loss and my condolences.
Yeah, I think he did the right thing. I don't know about you guys, but I think he did the right thing.
And I gave her a hug, and she said thank you. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like, how
take
would you
care of
that
yourself,
that would
okay?
just come across as either though you're playing a sick joke
Yeah.
or like, yeah, it wouldn't have come across as genuine,
There's,
even though
there's no way you
Yeah.
can say it, is there? Like,
no,
I've-
yeah,
I
there's
think
no-
I've been
yeah,
delivering
poor
parcels
bloke.
to your dad for 7 months. While he was dead, he's been standing there. And by the way, he's got black eyes and pointy ears.
Yeah, right,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. Whether it's real or not, as in like
mm,
not what he experienced was real. That's quite clear. You know, he experienced something, but whether what he experienced was happening in real life, like to everyone else, you know, like someone else saw it at the
Mm.
same time, they would go, "What the fuck is going on there?"
mm. But this is with him for life now because he's never going to be able to ask those questions,
Right.
and he's just going to be like,
right. But you know, we've all had, a lot of people at least, you know, have had an experience where you've looked at someone or you've seen someone that doesn't look right, and it
Mm.
turns out to be they're not a right. There's a right sort of person. There's something very off about them
Mm.
that comes out, or something's happened to them, you know. But like, again, the way that I would explain that, how I feel and see that is, we calculate stuff all the time. We're amazing at calculating stuff, right? Our brains are supercomputers, right? And there's stuff that goes on that we don't understand, and there's a lot of symbology, you know, especially culturally, through people, and we see stuff in ways that we understand subconsciously, but when we truly think about it and bring it to the surface, it's kind of surreal and doesn't really make sense, you know. Because it's old, you know, whether it's in the reptilian brain or whether, you know, whatever it is, you know, whatever you believe, at the end of the day, we see something that allows us to consciously perceive it as though, oh, hold on, what's going on here? You know, like that's how I see it. But again, you know, experience is a very personal thing. No one has the same experience, even if you're experiencing the same thing at the same time. We're different people. We experience life differently. Doesn't matter. Again, whatever happened, you know, the ghosts set aside, you know, again, I'm not saying I don't believe, but I've not found any proof myself, truly, right? Personally, right? That's what I'm saying. But if I had that experience, I certainly would be rattled as well. That's what I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
And I got in my van and I left.
Okay, so this is super creepy. I mean, like, the guy died in October 23, and so who is it that he was delivering the products, right? Well,
Yeah. The guy's one, I'll be honest, I generally
Spookiness aside, just
I believe his story. I believe he believes what he believes, and I also believe his story.
What, you believe that he saw a dead person?
He saw something, yeah.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I believe that he saw something.
I don't believe it was.
But you don't think it was a ghost?
I don't think it's mental health. I think whatever he saw something. How that was worked, I don't know.
Well, if it's not a ghost, it would be mental health,
I do
right?
believe in demons. I do believe in demons and stuff. So
I believe in angels and demons as well, but as in, we are angels and demons, not as in there are supernatural forces. But that again, that is how I feel. Like we are the gods, devils, demons, and angels. That we are that. Like, it's a romantic, external, poetic vision of it. You know, it's a way that we can read it and learn rather than just being completely sickened and shut down, like, you know. But that, again, that's what I believe. I'm not knocking anyone else's beliefs or experiences. Again, no matter how I react to stuff, right, that is me, and that's how I think and feel. Like, it's, and again, it's nothing, no disrespect, it's just how I am.
I believe in the physical demons as well, as in what he sort of, whether that was
Supernatural,
a demon,
supernatural beings.
I believe,
all right,
believe in demons. I believe demons influence the world. I believe, I do believe that. I believe humans are generally sinful.
Like in a biblical sense, like the fight of good and evil sort of thing.
I think there's an influence.
All right.
But I just love to know what that was in that moment. What it was.
What it was that he saw.
There was a physical person standing in front of him that was physically able to receive the parcels and hold them.
Now that's the thing. That doesn't actually have to be the case. He could have just put it down on the table. He could have done the action himself, but experienced something else. That is what I'm saying. Like who received it? No, nobody could have been there. It could have just been an open door, and he's dropped it off, and he's left it there. And as he's left, the mechanic who was standing outside that day might have been on shift and picks it up and whatever. The daughter, whoever's working there. There's a parcel left here. Okay, yeah, cool, sure. Strange that he didn't come and knock and talk to us or whatever, but do you know what I mean? Like, again, like, there is a way that you can logically go through it and explain it, but that's an afterthought. That's hindsight. His experience isn't a hindsight thing. Like, even in hindsight, he experienced it. He's thinking over what he experienced, what he saw, what he experienced. The guy might have just walked in and put it down. Somebody else watching him, the guy might have just been going, blah, 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 like a golem walking in, like, blah, 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 blah. Put it on the desk and then walk around going, blah, 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 and walk away.
It depends on the delivery company as well. Like in the UK now, it's quite strict. DPD, business to business, you can't just leave a parcel. It has to be signed for. It has to be name given. Even houses now, you have to stand there showing your leg with the parcel.
Right.
So that's one way he could validate it for himself as well. He could actually get his company to verify delivery orders, the PODs, proof of delivery.
Yeah, but that again, it's a hindsight thing. Like, only in that moment, if that had happened. Yeah,
that's what I mean. So if it did happen, all we need is one signature from that guy's name who was dead.
Right, but that's what I mean. Like, did anyone ever sign for it?
That's the question. Yeah, that's the question.
Or was it just like the Royal Mail? Was it just a post? Like, hand it off, pop it through the letterbox. That's what I mean. He might have just been talking to himself, put the parcel on the desk, right? Like, the guy in his head might have gone, oh, yeah, just pop it over there. Thank you. Oh, yeah. The guy might have never actually physically taken it from him. He didn't talk about that. He didn't actually go through his experience. He just put down the bullet points, the main points. I saw somebody who turned out they didn't look right. I've seen them a few times, and then all of a sudden they didn't look right. Remember, and then the next time I saw them, it turns out they're dead.
He never knew him alive. The guy was dead before he ever knew him.
So it wasn't even right.
He never met him. That's why he didn't know what he looked like. That's when he looked at the photograph and the obituary. Was like, wow.
And again,
he never met him alive
and whatnot. Again, there are weird ways in which the information is there.
Yeah, but the guy was dead.
Very unlike. No, I'm saying, like, if it's a small town, like they have a gazette. The obituaries are in the Gazette. He might have just glanced over it. The information's in there. I'm saying, however unlikely, there there
If
is
it-
still an explanation. I'm just
Hmm.
saying, like,
If it had been just one thing, you go, yeah, because there's multiple facets to this,
Mm.
it makes
but
it
no, but
more.
it's own. But again,
Mm.
like the only one thing that's making me not all right. So all right, let me put it this way: one thing that makes me doubtful. Oh, a ghost. It's only his side of the story.
Mm.
When you only have one side of the story, it's not the full story.
Yeah. Yeah. He's was the only one that sort of really pulled my interest. The others, yeah, I don't really know why they actually even got put on there, to be honest. They weren't much, were they?
No, I mean, I'll be honest, right? He's was the only one that I did cool in the first couple of seconds,
Mm.
right? Like what was going to happen, as it were. The rest, I was watching with like, okay, what's going on? Where's this going, sort of thing, and it's just like really just bad,
Mm.
just genuinely bad. Like not even trying, you know.
Yeah.
But more so, it's that guy's reaction. Oh wow, yeah, this could be real. No, please.
Let us know what you think. Did you believe any of them? Do you think we're a bit too pessimistic overall? Or do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Or do you think they're all true? And you'll get Lee laughing more as well. Thanks for watching. Any final words to say to people?
Believe what you want to believe. Don't listen to a bored git like me.